chapter. So, welcome to Yoga Learns for All for the next class. Please do share this video even for your friends, even they can get help by understanding the concepts. Now, first, before going to start today's class, let us do some revision of last class. So, what we have did in the last class? So, see, in last class, first of all, we started the physics. What is physics? The word physics, from where it has been derived. Then we came to know that we entered into the chapter units and measurement of class 11 physics. So here in coming to this chapter, we started with the definition of physical quantity. What is physical quantity? Types of physical quantity. So what are the types of physical quantities? So there are two types of physical quantities, right? We discussed it. What are those? Fundamental or the base quantity, and the second one is derived quantity. So what is fundamental and base quantity? Do you all remember? I think so, you remember. So what is fundamental or base quantity? It is nothing but it is the quantity which is expressed without depending on other quantity. And what is derived quantity? The quantity which can be expressed only with the support or dependency on other quantity. I have said it in the basic understanding method. So the definition we have gone through it in the previous class. Next, we have also given the examples, learned the examples of fundamental quantity and derived quantity. What are the some examples of fundamental quantity? Length, weight, and then time, etc. Then what are the examples for derived quantity? Area, volume, velocity, and etc. Then after that we entered what is unit. Then what is the measurement? How we are going to do the measurement? What is the physical quantity measurement? Terms used for the measurement of unit. And I have simplified the definition and definition of physical quantity, and I have given you a formula to describe it in a simple manner to remember. What is that formula? Do you remember? Yes, I gave a formula of PQ is equals to N into U. So here PQ is the physical quantity, N is the numerical value or magnitude, and U is the unit used. Even to understand this formula, I have given you an example in the previous class. So what is that? Yes, it is the mass of a body is equals to 10 kg, where the mass of a body is the physical quantity, 10 is the magnitude or a numerical value, and kg is the unit. So this is what we all learnt in the last class. So let's enter to the today's class. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the system of units. What are the types of system of units? What is SI unit? What is the SI system, and the fundamental systems or fundamental quantities with SI unit, and supplementary quantities with SI unit. Also, we are going to learn exactly what the supplementary units or quantities. And after that, if the time considers, let's go on with the prefixes used in the entire physics. What are the naming for those prefixes? Table I am going to give you. And after that, there are some standard small and large length quantities, values, and some standard values we are going to use in this physics terms. So we are going to discuss all these things in the today's class. So now let's start with the system of units. So do you all guys know what is the system of units? See, in simple way, what is system of units? System of units is nothing but a combination of derived and physical quantities and its units. That means if we are going to consider both the derived units and the fundamental units or the base units, then it is called as system of units. Listen it carefully. I have not written the definition. In the previous class, I have written everything on the board. But in this class, I have not written everything on the board. You need to concentrate even for listening, and you need to improve the listening skills, and you need to make the notes. So here I have written only the important things and the tables which is necessary. And for the definitions comes, you need to concentrate it And first of all, you need to understand it, what I am explaining. Then you make your notes however you want according to your understanding. Okay? So then, a system of units. So it is nothing but a combination of a derived and fundamental or the base units. Then in the system of units, there are three types of units. Three types of system of units. They are MKS system, second one is CGS system, and third one is FPS system. What is this MKS system, CGS system, FPS system? Someone are thinking, what is this? Something Imam is saying. How we need to understand this, all these letters and all. So majorly, this system of units is mainly categorized based on considering the three major quantities: length, weight, and the time. Okay? So here, based on this length, weight or mass, based on this length, mass and time, we have categorized into the three types. Here, each system of units types name considers the units of those quantities. So see, let's start with MKS system. In this MKS system, where M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram, S stands for second. See, these three MKS, meter, kilogram and second, all are the units, but units of the quantity, length, mass and time respectively. So here, meter is the unit of length and it is represented by M, small m. Then kilogram is the unit of mass represented in kg. Second is the unit of time which is represented as S. So all these units, first letter is considered and named it as a system, type of a system of units. So this is MKS system. Now did you understand the MKS system? Next, let's go for the CGS system. C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram and S stands for second. Here, centimeter is the unit of length which represented by cm. Gram is the unit of mass represented by G or gm. Second is the unit of time represented in S. All this first letter of these units, CGS, is called as the second type of system of units, CGS system. Then coming to the third type of system of units, FPS system, where F stands for foot, P stands for pound and S stands for second. Here again, foot is the unit of length represented in FT, pound is the unit of mass represented in LB, second is the unit of time represented in S. So all these three units, first letter is considered and represented as a third type of system called as FPS system. So this system of units, types of system represents the quantities, units of these quantities. So in this, among these three type of system, first type of system, that is called MKS system. We are going to consider this MKS system for wide use and internationally accepted type of system for the use of units for the quantities. Understand? This is the very important question also. Which type of system is used internationally accepted unit of measures? It is nothing but MKS system. I think you will get a question. Why only MKS system is internationally accepted? Why not CGS and FPS? Yes, let's see here. See, we are in this India and someone, your friend is in US and another friend is in Germany, example. Take it as example. So here, if you say from here, India, you have a area of 10 meter you are going to purchase. Then even your friend also make understand, right, what is the measurement, what is the scale actually you are going to purchase. So if you say it in a centimeter or foot or yes, centimeter or foot, or if you take an example of mass, like if you are buying like if you are buying 2 kgs of sugar, then even they need to understand. If you say, if you are practiced in other and if they practice in other units in that country, then it will be different to communication. So internationally they have accepted one single MKS unit, and this is the universal or worldwide or the international unit. That means in the whole international, in the whole world, everyone should use this. If they use this, then it is understandable for all the country's people, and so it is called as internationally accepted this type of system. So this MKS system is the internationally accepted type of system, and this MKS system is also called as SI system. So then what is SI system? Anybody knows what is SI system? So see here, SI system is nothing but it is a system of internationally accepted unit of measure. So which type of system is accepted internationally? That is called, for the representation of units, that is called as SI system. And see, this SI system is mainly developed. Who developed this SI system? This SI system is mainly developed by an International Bureau of Weights and Measures. Remember this. Who developed the SI system? You may have the question. International Bureau of Weights and Measures, or there is one more name, BIPM. What is the full form of BIPM? BIPM represents the Bureau International Despots at Measures. You may get this question, so remember it properly. Bureau International Despots at Measures. This is the full form of BIPM. So did you understand what is the SI system and what is the internationally accepted type of SI system and who developed this SI system? Now let's go further. What is this? In this SI system, actually we are going to express the units. So here in this we have total of 7 fundamental units or 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary units of 2 supplementary quantities. So here we are going to represent it. Remember, how many fundamental quantities are there in SI system? So there are 7 fundamental quantities in SI system. Then how many supplementary quantities are there or supplementary units are there in SI system? 2 supplementary units. Let's see what are those. See here. I have written the table. You need to remember this table. Each terms of fundamental quantity and supplementary quantity. Also the SI units along with the names and the symbols of SI unit. You need to remember this table. Okay. Now let's see. The first fundamental quantity is length. And the name of the SI unit of length is meter and its a symbol representation of unit is m. Then second one is mass. Mass SI unit is kilogram represented in kg. Then third one is time. The SI unit of time is second represented in S. Then fourth quantity is the electric current. The SI unit is ampere represented in A. Fifth one is temperature represented. SI unit is Kelvin and represented in K. Then sixth one is, sorry for the inconvenience. See here, I have not wrote one more quantity here. So the another quantity is, I am going to write it here. And the sixth quantity is amount of substance. And the SI unit of it is mole and it is represented in mole, MOL. Please remember it. Sorry for inconvenience. Amount of substance represented SI unit is mole and represented it as mole, MOL. Then seventh one is luminous intensity and the SI unit is candela represented as CD. Then here comes, see this, 2. These 2 are called as supplementary angle. Sorry, or supplementary quantity. See here. What are these two supplementary quantities? They are plane angle and solid angle. Plane angle, SI unit of plane angle is radian and represented as RAD. Then solid angles, SI unit is steradian and the representation is SR. So do you remember? See, even I have mistaken one to write here. So remember, you should not mistake it. You should thoroughly prepare and you should thoroughly remember this table along with SI units, name, symbol and fundamental quantities and supplementary quantities. Did you understand? So this is what the 7 fundamental quantities and the 2 supplementary quantities along with the SI units of names and the symbols. So now let's go further. We have come through the SI system and all these units and all. What is the use of this SI system? Why we need to consider this SI system, or what is the advantage of this SI system? So see, what is the advantage of SI system is it is internationally accepted one, right? So here by using this SI system or from this SI system, it is easy to communicate. This system is easy to calculate in decimals and the system is also a very easy to convert the units from one type of a system to the another type of system. Did you understand? So because of all these advantages and all these helpful ones, we are going to use this SI system. So now let's enter to the next. So we are going to next learn the prefixes which we are going to use for the units conversions. So let's go through it. So now let's say the prefixes used for SI units. Wait, before the prefixes used for SI units we are going to learn. Before that, we have seen 7 fundamental units and 2 supplementary quantities now. In that fundamental quantities somewhere you have heard and somewhere you have listened and you have learnt it in your previous classes. Now, but you don't know about the supplementary quantity, right? You are getting a question what actually this plane angle means, what is solid angle, right? So now let's go and learn what is plane angle and solid angle. See, first let's learn the plane angle. So what is plane angle? See, the plane angle, this is an angle of a circle which is subtended to the arc length. So that means, so here we have a circle. Consider this as a circle. Circle, an angle that is subtended from the center of the circle. So this is the center of the circle. The angle is subtended from the center of the circle to the arc of the circle. So this is arc of the circle. Understand? This is an angle. It has subtended. So let me write it here separately. See. Now, here this is the arc of the circle. This is an arc length of the circle. And this is an angle subtended and this is the center of circle. So now see here, let me consider the center of circle angle as theta and this is the radius. This is radius, right? This is radius. So this is radius represented by R and arc length represented by dl. And I'll take this as d theta angle. So we have a formula to describe this plane angle, that is d theta is equals to dl divided by r. That is nothing but d theta is equals to dl by r. We can write this plane angle formula in this format. Now here dl, it is nothing but arc length. So what is dl? It is an arc length, and r is the radius, and d theta is the plane angle. So to understand betterly, before writing this formula directly, you can note down this formula as plane angle is equals to arc length divided by radius. So did you got to understand? So what is the SI unit of this plane angle? Radian. So now here we complete the plane angle. Next we go for solid angle. So what is solid angle? Solid angle is an angle subtended at the center of the sphere to the intersected area of the sphere. So here we have considered it for the circle, but in subtended angle we are going to consider it for sphere. So now let me take a sphere. This is not exactly the sphere, but consider it as sphere, okay? So this is sphere, and this is the center of the sphere, and the angle of sphere, this is the subtended angle of sphere. Let me take this as d omega, and this is the intersected area of the sphere. So what is this? Intersected area of the sphere. Let me write it down as larger. So see here. So this angle, I'll take this is the radius. I'll take this angle as d omega. So here, see this. We call this symbol as omega. Remember this, we call this symbol as omega. So here d omega, and this is what? This is an intersected area, right? So here I will consider this as dA, that is area of the intersected area of the sphere, dA, and this is the radius r. Since here we are considering the area and the sphere, it is like 2D, two dimension, we are going to consider the radius twice. So what will be the formula of this solid angle? So I'll write it here. See, the formula will become d omega is equals to dA divided by r square. Here dA is the area or the intersected area, r is radius, and this d omega is solid angle. So before writing this formula directly as d omega is equals to dA by r square, you can write it in simple way to understand the definition as solid angle is equals to intersected area or the area divided by radius square. Remember, it is radius square. So here we complete the plane angle and solid angle. Once we revise the formula. So what is the formula of plane angle? It is nothing but plane angle is equals to arc length divided by radius, that is d theta is equals to dl divided by r. And so coming to solid angle, the formula of solid angle is equals to what? Intersected area or area divided by radius square, that is d omega is equals to dA divided by r square. So here we complete plane angle and solid angle, that is the supplementary quantity of SI system. So I have said you already the advantage of SI systems also. So here we complete the SI system. Now as I told, let's go for the prefixes. Here we have some prefixes which we are going to use it for conversion of units. See example, if you want to convert a meter from meter to the centimeter, you need to have some conversion methods, right? So for that we are going to use some prefixes to convert it. And another one example means if you want a kg to convert into gram or gram to kg, then we are going to, by using these prefixes, we are going to convert it. So this is more helpful. And here are some useful which we frequently use as common one. I have mentioned those things, those prefixes here. So let us understand it. So here nothing but we are going to learn prefix, its a symbol and the meaning, that is which prefix we are going to use. So here first one is peta, p and 10 power 15. See, before this I am going to say one thing. Here 10 power 0 is equals to 1. I think in your previous classes you have all know this. 10 power 0 is equals to 1 means anything in the base to the power 0 is 1. And 10 power 1 is always the 10. That means, see here, this is called as base. And this one is called as what? Power. So here anything base is having a power of 0, then the value must be 1. And if anything the base has a power of 1, always the value will be the same as base. Here above 1 or above 10 power 0, we will symbolize it by capital letters. Below 10 power 0 or below 1, the conversion or the prefix, we are going to use the symbol in small letters. So let's start. Peta, capital P, 10 power 15. Terra, symbol of capital T, 10 power 12. Giga, capital G, 10 power 9. Then mega, M, capital M, 10 power 6. Then kilo, capital K, 10 power 3. See, for till here I have got the capital letters because it is all above 10 power 0 or above 1 I have mentioned. Now I am going to say the values below 10 power 0 or below 1, that is starts with the deci, d, small d, 10 power minus 1. Then centi, small c, 10 power minus 2. Milli, small m, 10 power minus 3. Micro, small, this symbol. Micro is represented by this symbol. This symbol is called as mu. Remember this. Micro is represented by the symbol called mu. Micro, mu, 10 power minus 6. Then nano, small n, 10 power minus 9. Pico, small p, 10 power minus 12. Femto or Fermi, small f, 10 power minus 15. So these are the prefixes we are going to use for the conversion. See, for example, I am going to take and show you one conversion. Let me take 3 meter. So now I need to convert this 3 meter into kilometer and centimeter. So how I need to convert? See, from meter to kilometer, if I want to convert, I need to add the prefix. What is the prefix for kilometer? K, kilo, K, 10 power 3. So here I need to take, always remember to convert from one unit to another unit, you need to multiply the prefix of that particular unit. So here the number is 3, I have numerical value. Then meter, I need to convert this meter into kilometer. So I'll add this or multiply this prefix. What is the prefix of kilo? 10 power 3. So 3 into 10 power 3 kilometer. Understand? If you want to convert this into centimeter, then 3 into, what is the value of centi? C, 10 power minus 2. So this is 3 into 10 power minus 2 centimeter. So here meter is converted into kilometer and here meter is converted into centimeter. In the same manner, you can convert from meter to gigameter, meter to kilometer, meter to micrometer, meter to nanometer and meter to decimeter. Also, not only the meter, you can convert any unit. If you take gram, you can convert gram into kilogram, gram into milligram, gram into gigagram, gram into megagram, gram into microgram, etc. Okay. So this is what the prefixes we have and how we need to use it, how we are going to use it in the conversion. So I have said you all everything. Now let's go. We have some special units for some of the small and very large units. So here we have those some special units for short and large lengths. So here we have only few I have taken, which is most important one. Those are Fermi, F, 10 power minus 15 meter, angstrom, AO or inert, 10 power minus 10 meter. Astronomical unit, it is represented by capital AU. It is having a value of 1.496 into 1011 meter. You need to remember these values. It is most important. So 1.496 into 1011 meter, which may be asked you in the MCQ format. So what is this? You have got Fermi and angstrom. It is just like a prefixes added. But what is this astronomical unit? See, astronomical unit means it is nothing but a large distance measured from the earth to the sun. Okay. Then light year. You have had the velocity of light 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So that light, velocity of that light traveling for 1 year, that distance is measured. That distance measurement is called as light year. It is represented by the unit light year, LY. So this has a unit value of 9.46 into 1015 meter. You need not to get confused with this astronomical unit light year and parsec. Remember this properly and correctly. Then parsec. This parsec has a symbol of same word parsec, but the starting letter of parsec P must be smaller one. Then the value of this parsec is 3.08 into 1016 meter. See, there is not much difference in the multiple of 10. See, for astronomical unit 1011 meter, for light year 1015 meter, and for parsec it is 1016 meter. And you need to remember the values properly. For astronomical unit it is 1.496 into 1011 meter, and for light year 9.46 into 1015 meter, and for parsec it is 3.08 into 1016 meter. What is parsec? Actually, you got to know what is astronomical unit and what is light year. Then what is parsec? It is also nothing but it is a large distance length, which is doing the measurement of a larger length, that is the astronomical objects outer the solar system. That distance is called as or measured in terms of a unit called parsec. So there are chances of asking this MCQs in your competitive exams, like if they ask you the value of astronomical unit or the value of light year or the value of parsec or what is the length for which this is going to measure SI unit, you need to select the proper definition answer, and if they ask for value, you need to properly recognize the value and you need to answer it. So you need to remember these three important values. So these are the important prefixes and the special units for short and large lengths. So here we complete the prefixes and also the special units for short and large length. Now next, let us go forward for the important values to be remembered. That is, there are some standard values. So for example, if you see, we are saying the velocity of light, speed of the light is 3.8 into 10 power 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, right? It's right because it is the standard value. In the same way, there are some of the units, there are some of the values which are standard one we are going to use in this physics. So you need to remember those standard values. So let me write those standard values on the table, and let us discuss what are those values and remember the values for the whole physics subject. Now let's go to some units retained for general use. That means what I said, there are some exact and the values which we are going to the standard values which we are going to use on this as unit in this physics. So before that, let me confirm you the prefixes used. I think some of them you have some doubts in that prefixes. So let me clear you with some simple example and some tricks to remember it. See, for example, I took back then 3 meter to convert it into kilometer and for centimeter, right? So let me say you one thing. Always remember, if you want to convert from the smaller unit towards the bigger unit, then you want to divide the value of that particular unit. And if you want to convert from the larger unit to the smaller unit, then you need to multiply the value given for that prefixes. So for example, now let me take 3 meter conversion for the kilometer. Okay, here what is it is going to do? From smaller value unit to the bigger value unit we are going to do here. So what I said, from smaller unit you are going to convert bigger unit means you should do division. So here what is the value of kilo? 10 power 3, right? So this becomes 3 divided by 10 power 3 to become kilometer. Okay. Now 10 power 3, we can write this 10 power 3 as 1000. See, 10 power 3 means for 10 we need to have zeros, 3 times zeros. So here 10 power 3 is equals to 1000. So now here what we are going to do? This implies 3 divided by 1000, or this is all. You can write this as either 3 into, if we take denominator to the numerator, then the power sign of the power will change. So here in denominator 10 power 3, there is plus 3. If you take this to the numerator, then this plus 3 will become minus 3. So it will become 3 into 10 power minus 3 kilometer. Or if you want to write it in terms of value, then 3 divided by 1000. If you do 3 divided by 1000, then what you will get? 0.003 kilometer. Again this can be written as 3 into 10 power minus 3 kilometer. So 3 kilometer, if we need to write it in terms of kilometer, from meter to kilometer, we need to write it as 3 into 10 power minus 3 kilometer. Now, if you are going to convert this 3 meter to the centimeter, so what is the value of centi? 10 power minus 2. 10 power minus 2 means 10 power minus 2 is equals to 1 divided by 100, or 0.01. So this is the value of 10 power minus 2. If there is minus, you need to take down the value divided by. So now, from larger unit meter, we are going to convert it to the smaller unit centimeter. So here what it becomes? What we need to do here? We need to multiply it. So 3 into 10 power minus 2, or 3 into, what we need to do? 3 into 100. Yes. 3 into 100. So now this becomes centimeter. That is, sorry, this is 0.01. 100, 1 divided by 100. So this becomes 0.01 centimeter. Okay. Or else you can write it as 3 into 1 divided by 100. Okay. Now, what it is going to become? 3 into 10 power minus 2, or 3 into 0.01. If you do multiplication, you will get it as 0.01. 0.03 centimeter. Understand? Or if you want to write it in terms of power, you will get it as 0.03, sorry, 3 into 10 power minus 2 centimeter. Directly this step you can write if you want to write it in terms of 10 value. But if you want to write it in terms of value, then you need to multiply it, then you will get 0.03 centimeter. Therefore, what is the 3 meter conversion for centimeter? It is 0.03 centimeter. So always remember, if you are going to convert from the smaller value to the bigger value, then you need to divide the value of the prefix. If you are going to convert from bigger value to the smaller value, then you need to multiply the value of prefix. Okay, remember this. Now let's get into some units of restraint for general use or the standard values that we are going to use. So here first, minute. What is the standard value of minute? In a clock we have total how many seconds for 1 minute? So 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. This is a standard value. Never it will change, nowhere it will change. So this is called a standard value. Okay. In the same way, minute is symbol MIN minute and the value is 60 seconds. Next, hour. Symbol is H and C. For 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So for 1 minute we have 60 seconds. So for 60 minutes, that is 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes is equals to 3600 seconds. Next comes day. Day is represented as D, and for 1 day we have 24 hours. For 1 hour it is 3600 seconds. Then 24 hour will become 24 into 3600. Then 24 hour will become 86,400 seconds. Okay. Next comes year, represented by Y. So in a year, according to the solar system Earth revolution, we have 365.25 days in a year. So this 365.25 days in a year, we can write it in terms of seconds, means we will get 3.156 into 10 power 7 seconds. See, for year there are 12 months. In 1 month there is 30 to 31 days. And for 1 day we have 24 hours. For 1 hour we have 60 minutes, and for 1 minute we have 60 seconds. So by multiplying all these values, we will get for 365.25 days is equals to 3.156 into 10 power 7 seconds. Remember this. If you remember these values, you can calculate or you can do the problems faster. You need not to do the conversions on spot in the problems, which will take a longer time. If you remember it directly, you can apply it directly, so that you can save the time. Next comes degree. Degree is represented by a small 0 or not above the value, just like a power. If you are taking this degree, 10 degree, if you want to represent 10 degree, then you need to write this like this. If you want to write as a degree centigrade, then you are going to write like this. Okay? Remember this. Now, for this degree, we have a value 1 degree is always is equals to pi by 180 radian. In vice versa, for 1 radian, it is equals to 180 degree divided by pi. Okay? Remember it. Next, liter. Liter is represented by capital L. 1 decimeter cube is equals to 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. Next, ton. Ton is represented as T, and that is equals to 10 to the power 3 kgs. That means it is nothing but 1000 kg. Now, see here, for liter, 1 decimeter cube is equals to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. That means 0.001 meter cube. Okay, for 1 decimeter cube. But in ton CT, 10 power 3 kg, that is 1000 kg. Then carat. Carat is represented as C. You know the carat, I think. The gold is calculated or said in terms of carat. That is 24 carat gold, 22 karat gold, 18 karat gold, like that. So this carat C is having a value of 200 gram. Next, bar. Bar is a unit of what? Pressure. This bar symbol is also a bar where it has 0.1 megapascal is equals to 10 power 5 pascal. See, M. Here we have prefixes in this. Are you observing? See, here we got kilogram. K. Kilo is a prefix. And here we got M. Mega. Prefix. PA means nothing but Pascal. So here 0.1 megapascal is equals to 10 power 5 Pascal. Next, Curie. Curie is the symbol of Ci, which is the value of 3.7 into 10 power 10 per second. See, if we write like this, second to the power minus 1, then this second to the power minus 1, we are going to represent this as 1 divided by second. So this is called as per second. So this, if it is divided by s, we are going to call it as per. So it is represented as per second. For example, take velocity. What is the unit of velocity? Meter per second. How we are going to say it? V is equals to m divided by s, right? So this can be written in m s to the power minus 1. So this is we are going to call as meter per second. Meter per second. So remember it. So here what is the Curie value? 3.7 into 10 power 10 per second. Then Roentgen, represented as capital R, 2.58 into 10 power minus 4 C by kg. Okay. Next, quintal, small q, 100 kg. Barn, small b. So the value is 100 Fm square. What is F? Fermi. 100 Fermi square is equals to 10 power minus 28 meter square. See how much large value it is. How much the smallest value. See, if you get a minus negative value, then it is considered it is a very smallest value. If you are getting a plus sign, then you are considering it as a largest value. So it is a smallest value, 10 to the power minus 28 meter square for 100 Fermi square, 100 Fermi meter square. Next, array A 1 dam square is equals to 10 square meter square. Next, hectare, HA, hectare is also represented for area. Hectare, HA, that is equals to 1 HM square is equals to, that means 10 to the power 4 m square. Next, m square, that is nothing but meter square. 10 to the power 4 meter square. Standard atmospheric pressure. This is the most important one. We are going to use standard atmospheric pressure. That is represented as ATM, which has a value of 101325 Pascal is equals to 1.013 into 10 power 5 Pascal. Okay, you need to remember this value, 101325 Pascal. Okay, what is the standard atmospheric pressure value? 101325 Pascal, or that is equals to 1.013 into 10 power 5 Pascal. So here we learn about the standard or the general use of some SI units which we are going to use. So till now we have completed here. So in today's class what we have covered everything. Initially we have started with a revision of previous class, physical quantity, types of physical quantities, unit, measurement and the formula of physical quantity. After that, coming to today's class, what we have discussed? We have discussed the system of units, types of system of units, and then which is the international system of units, that is NKS. After that, we learned the definition of SI system, then which is called as SI unit, SI system, types of SI system, and also we learned who developed the SI system. Then we learned about the 7 fundamental SI unit, fundamental quantities, and 2 supplementary units of 2 supplementary quantities, and we learned the definition and the formula of plane supplementary quantities, that is plane angle and solid angle. After that, we understood how the prefixes are used, what are the prefixes and the values with a symbol. After that, we came to know some of the length measure distances of small and larger length values. Then we came to know how we need to convert the prefixes for the units, and even see this unit conversion can be done from one system to another system. I have shown you from meter to centimeter conversion. It is nothing but MKS system to CGS system conversion, right? See what it says, MKS system length is measured in terms of meter, but what it says in a CGS system, length is represented in the unit of centimeter. So here we converted from meter to centimeter. That is nothing but we have converted the unit from MKS system to CGS system. So here, along with the conversion of SI units for the units, we have also learned the conversion of units from one system to the another system units. Then we have learned some of the standard and general use of SI units, which is standard one, which never gets changed in the whole world internationally. So in today's class we have learned all this. So guys, please everyone do revision of it, practice it and remember it, and learn the table forms which I have said, which is important. Okay, and then in the next class let's continue with the significant figures and also some of the uncertainty errors of significant figures, rounding off of the numbers and decimal analysis and decimal formulas and on. So if you want to see the next class continuation, and if you want to see more and more, if you want to get more and more videos of this subject and lessons, you need to do subscribe our channel. Then after that, if you go to our channel, you can get the videos of this and all the chapters for more videos. And then again, if you have any doubts in today's class or previous class, you can just note it down and do the comment and leave the comment in our channel below this video. I will contact you with the comments and I'll reply to your comment by clearing all your doubts. Don't have any doubts written in your mind. It will struck your mind. So expose your doubts and get clarified your doubts. So for next class, so stay tuned. Do like, share, comment and subscribe our channel. Let's end today's class. Thank you everyone.